prompting is on, so I don't know why it wasn't showing up.
Okay.
It is on. I don't know why it
Getting my
wasn't showing
green
up.
screen reset. Still got you, Dwight.
I'm back. It's shared back to the group, so if you want to share it to different people, you can. I wish this dang thing was lower. Like, Lord, this is way higher than the last one.
Let's see. All right. Hopefully that's on my Facebook page again.
All right.
There's a link to it.
I probably just need to stand this thing up. Let's try that because this thing is like high.
Hey, look at that. We do have some comments coming.
I'm starting to see them now, I think.
Yeah, I can actually see us on Facebook, and I sent a quick test.
Okay, so this is gonna have to be. Forgive me, I'm being extra.
I'm sitting in a Airbnb bedroom, so I don't get to be extra.
This is working my nerve to have to look up. All right. Use my resources. That's going good there. All right. All right. I still have to look up. That's ridiculous. We got 17 people in here, so you can go ahead and get started if you want. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So this is the furthest I've ever been from the camera. Uh, don't mind the mindset sitting right there.
I love it.
It's sitting right above my head. I'm not even sure how it's even in the picture. It's still there. Okay. Well, never
Yeah.
mind. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. For those of y'all that are new to this setup that we normally do or did a couple years ago, this is Let's Talk Bowling. We're back and we're actually going to be trying to do more shows. We've been pretty hectic, pretty busy this year. So first, we'd like to welcome y'all to Let's Talk Bowling, and on top of that, welcome y'all to the YouTube channel because this is the first time we've streamed from YouTube. Normally, it's on
Yes.
TikTok. We tried to do the Facebook thing twice. We're not going to do it a third time. I think two times, and that's enough. We have enough issues as it is with Facebook, and maybe hopefully one day when they get their settings together, we won't look like aliens when you guys try to view us. Because that was the biggest issue. It just zooms in on your face, and it's like, wait, that doesn't look normal. So
Yeah.
glad to see y'all here. Glad to have y'all actually a part of this community. And first of all, I'd like to thank y'all for an amazing year. Uh, these challenges have been wonderful. This is the last challenge of the year. the House Cup Challenge, which we will be getting into. Jumping right in, but we're going to be talking about a couple things. Of course, we're going to talk about the House Cup Challenge. We're going to talk about Geek's experience at Reno this year, and we will be talking about the Stream Bowling Weekend coming up in Denver on July 18th and 19th. But we're going to first jump into this challenge because we learned some interesting things about this challenge.
Ah,
So just do these
yeah.
things, doing them. We actually kind of pick up on information, and the information we gather, we learn from it, and we see some things. So I think we kind of really want to touch that down because we're going to relive. We're going to reveal who won. We will reveal who won, but not just yet. Not just yet. We're gonna talk about this challenge because it was really interesting the things that we see. I'm gonna let Geek go ahead and start off with, how did you feel about the challenge, and what do you think overall how it went as far as what the bowlers were doing?
I liked it. It definitely was an eye opener for me as far as like the difference that one of the most glaring things that I noticed is how a handicap is going to be affected by what we found from this challenge, in my opinion. Um, just the difference in how much over your average certain averages can be, from the lower averages to the middle averages to the meat, as I called them before, the meat and potato, the enforcers averages, and then obviously you have the Titans averages, and what each one of those groups is actually capable of when it comes to matching or exceeding their particular average range. And the numbers, I've got some notes here, and the numbers are pretty ridiculous actually in favor of those meat and potato bowlers, the majority of the league in that enforcers category.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that too because this was a 3 week challenge, and we did post the first 2 weeks results where everybody stood, and it was we all know that the Titans were last the first week and last the second week, which is puzzling because if you look at their scores, it's like night and day. No, their
Yeah,
scores, they're blowing people out of the water. I mean, just to go with the top five, I think you were second. You were second, I think, like either second or maybe highest, like one of the highest set total. But over
yeah,
average, second. Like, and that's crazy. But it's like these scores are like when you go to tournaments, these scores place. Like if you
yeah.
see some scores in USBC Nationals, they place easily.
Mhm.
But then you take them down to the other ones with enforcers, hustlers, and the renegades. It's staggering to see that the Titans were in last place, but if you look at their scores, you would think otherwise. You would think
Yeah.
they can't be last place with those scores.
And like I touched on, I think it comes down to a very true thing that a lot of the scratch bowlers understand, in that what is it that makes it so hard for scratch bowlers to win in handicap tournaments? And I think this particular challenge will tell you exactly why it's so hard for us to win in handicap tournaments, because there's just so many variables. I mean, like you had touched on, I shot 750, 770 in the first 2 weeks, and I barely gained any points for my house. Like, it was just ridiculous the amount of points that I was seeing get put up by other people.
Yeah. I mean, even I in the first week with my last year's book average, my first week shot 106 pans over. And it's
Hmm.
like, okay. And then I mean, if I go and look into the stats for the enforcers, which the enforcers, they showed out. They showed their ass. We did. We did,
Oh,
but
yeah,
number of people that were positive without bonus points and the amount of bonus points. I mean, just to break it down for you guys, the Titans only got 35 bonus points over the 3 weeks of competition.
yep,
Renegades got 125 bonus points. The Hustlers got 210. The Enforcers got 490. 490 bonus points on top of the score that they were already shooting. So
yep,
the Enforcers did show out, and then it feeds into the argument. Well, those bowlers are better than us, but it really doesn't because I'm thinking you're thinking tournament setting. I'm thinking leagues. Like when
Yeah.
you have this ridiculous amount of handicap in the league, and then the complaint is always, oh, they have a lot of good bowlers. There's 230 this and 230 that. But this tournament, this challenge showed that if you were to go by just scratch and who goes over average, it's harder for a 220 average bowler and higher to get to that level every single week. And it's not that they suck or they're having a bad week. It's harder to shoot 220 than it is to shoot 160. No, even
Yeah.
you and I mean, our averages are about what, 20, 30 pins apart. I mean, this season I'm probably going to be closer to you. I'm in the enforcers.
Sure.
I'm over 200, but we could easily cruise if we wanted to and shoot 160 without even thinking about it. That's like if we shoot 160, 150 trying, that's a really bad game. But that's
Mhm.
trying, but you can still maintain and hit that. Where versus your actual average, we're now 50 for you. If you shoot 150, you're like, hey, look, what? Almost
If
like,
I shoot 150, I'm almost minus 100.
yeah, it's like you're minus 100. So you're really penalized for having that higher average. So this challenge really opened up eyes, and I think for the future, the House Cup Challenge, I think we're going to start doing maybe a percentage of how much
Mhm.
more did you shoot over your average versus the other, the other categories, the other divisions with the other houses. How much more and how much of that percentage is over of what your average is? Because just to go
Yeah.
by scores alone, it's kind of unfair. It was kind of unfair. We saw that by week two. It was like, okay, yeah, this is getting
Yeah.
out of hand. We figured by week two the Titans would catch up, but it really does make sense when you look at there's those averages and how easy it is to hit the lower average versus the higher average. No, even
Yeah.
though the argument is we're better, but if we mess up, we pay more. So
Pay
it's
dearly. Yeah. I mean, like you were saying, your first week out, you shot 750. I shot 750. I gained 30 points. You gained 130 points almost, some crazy number like that. And then we threw in those bonuses for 100 pins over average, 75 pins over average. I shot 750. You didn't get any bonus points.
no, you didn't. Even though you were one of the few Titans that did. I think you were one of three, and there
Yeah.
were about
There
16 Titans.
were there were three bowlers in the entire Titans group that actually bonused, which was 20% of the group, and only 26% of the 15 Titans stayed over average. And at 26%, that's the 75% of our Titans that were under average, which means negative points for this type of challenge.
Yeah, definitely. You guys were hit. You were hit the hardest with the negative points. I mean, compared to my group, um, we don't go negative to almost the 42nd bowler, and there's 65. And
Yeah.
then
I've got the percentage. You had 61% of the enforcers maintained over average through the entire challenge. 61% stayed over average.
and that's not putting down the enforcers because they showed their butts, but it is still easier to shoot those averages than it is to shoot 220s, 230s. No, so
Yeah.
it goes to show that no, the lower the average is, and if you do it as a who hits their average easiest, it is definitely it's definitely a difference between the
Mhm.
higher and the lower bowler, the lower average bowler, and it's definitely easier to hit that lower score. So when it comes to leagues, which is why I love this setup a lot of times, where you do the difference between the team averages instead of having individual handicap for every bowler, because one bowler can his or her score and get 100 something pins and just blow everybody out of the water. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you can't beat a team with that much handicap and the person bowls good too. No,
Yeah.
so it's like, hey, this is vital information. We're not saying that handicap isn't needed. We're not saying that. We're saying that it needs to be a little. If this was a handicap challenge, I wouldn't even want to see. There's not even it's not even a challenge at this point. No, because then we would get the enforcers and titans would get barely any, the lower two houses would get more. And with what they did, I mean, they were over average. The Hustlers, they were over by not by I'm sorry, by 1,189 pins. The Renegades was over by
Yep.
1,254. No, that's with bonuses. So it's like if you add handicap into that, that's like wow. That really takes it off. That really
Yes.
takes. But anything we want to also want to touch on, like with what we saw in this challenge?
Not, I mean, I did notice that I will say that through our Facebook page and some of the things we do at the challenges, we promote a lot of growth. The lower average bowlers really taking that opportunity to step up and start to improve. And I can tell you that I'm seeing, you know, my buddy David here specifically, Demetrius, a couple of the hustlers and a couple of the renegades. We're talking about the whole handicap and this average thing. And I can guarantee there's some of the hustlers and some of the renegades that are moving up divisions because they, the hustlers had one individual that was 394 points above his average. I can guarantee you he's moving up a division after this year. He has to be. And
Yeah, David.
I do see Demetrius was 394. David was 332 above his. And I know David personally, and I know he went from thumb in last season. So he set an average that way all summer long. He worked his two-handed game and his average is 30, 40 pins higher. That was the other thing too, using last year's book average for this type of challenge at the end of the season when everybody's had a full season under their belt. I believe it's showing a lot of growth in our lower average bowlers really stepping up and becoming better bowlers and taking those next steps.
Yeah, and these we're gonna definitely be shifting some places around. That's one thing I like about the house system. You don't have to stay in the same house. You can move up depending on how well
Yeah.
you do, and you can move down too if you do bad enough. That's the beauty of it. But it's also it gives everybody a place to feel like home. Feel like okay, I am grouped with these individuals, these other people who are like me, and that's together as a team. We're gonna do this, and perform and shoot and bowl these different challenges. And I can if I'm shining like Dave and Demetrius, I can potentially move up to the next bracket and challenge myself even more and see how far can I go. Now, how much further can I take it? And that's the whole thing we're behind with Stream is the mindset of wanting to grow, wanting to get better, not just wanting to be stagnant and be in the same place. So this
Yeah.
definitely has shown the strong bowlers who want to improve, want to do better, and my hat is off to them. I definitely have
Oh,
mad respect
100%.
in the Renegades and Hustlers, and even some of the enforcers who shot higher than average than what they normally do. There was an increase in the three lower houses that a lot more people shot over average, and it was impressive to see. And I really do wish that the Titans would have been the same type of setup. No, but reality just it happens to be reality. No, it's harder to
Hmm.
be a Titan, and that's why I made the Titan House of Dragon because guys are pretty tough, and it's tough to beat you all the time. And then when we do beat you, it's like, hey, yeah, yeah, but it took work to get there, and by no means was it
Yeah.
easy. If it wasn't this type of format, this would be a completely different conversation. I mean, just looking at
Yeah.
just y'all scored by y'all selves and compared to if it wasn't for the double number of enforcers would be a lot closer. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had a lot of bowlers in the enforcers. It was a lot,
It
and the score.
was 60, it was 60 something percent of the field, actually. The enforcers were, sorry, 53% of the field were enforcers alone. So just the one house took half of the entire field.
Yeah. So if next year when we run this challenge again, hopefully we can get that number to be the same across all four houses, which I think would be awesome to have. How many of that? 121, 240 bowlers bowling
Yeah.
and a challenge. That would be awesome. That'd be beyond awesome. That'd be stupendous because
Yeah.
that would have doubled our highest challenge. Our highest challenge was like 120. I think we've had out of
Yeah, and this one had 119 in itself. We had 119 bowlers in this challenge.
yeah. So to if we could get that type of participation across all the houses, man, it's going to be phenomenal. So
Yeah.
without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and give out the places. No, we already know now, and it's not stabbing at the Titans because it's harder. The Titans are in fourth place. Your third place house is the Hustlers, which they didn't do bad at all. They were, like I said, plus 1189 with bonus points, and they showed out very well. Um, I got to say that I am proud of the Renegades. They have truly stepped up in this challenge. I mean, there's only 14 of them, and they really have stepped up to be plus 1254 with bonus points. 1254, they passed up the Hustlers, and it was like, okay. For a second, we thought they might eclipse the, which I think I would have loved that if we would have beat the Enforcers, but unfortunately, with the last few scores that came in, Enforcers took it.
Yeah.
With so many of us being in a challenge, being plus 3145 is crazy. And then if you don't even add, if you add in I mean, still with the extra 500 almost bonus points, we're still well ahead. I think it was
Yeah.
26 plus 2655. So the enforcers just came out and I gotta say kicked butt. Just totally kicked
Oh
butt.
yeah.
What's Josh? How you doing? I didn't even see that there. I'm talking. I'm not even realize there's comments coming across the screen. But yes, the enforcers took it, and I have a surprise for y'all when we get back to the page. Well, there will be some changes on the page that I made. Geek has already seen the two things that I'm talking about. But to go further into that, we have our house all stars, which I couldn't remember. Is it the top three or top five?
Uh, I think I think initially you said top five. I think top three is plenty though. I mean, you may do top five in the enforcers just because there were so many, but the top three in each one of the divisions is pretty impressive stuff. So that's up to you. You can do five, you can do three. I've got I've got the top three in my notes, not top five.
Okay, well then I'll do top three and honorable mentions. So we're going to start with Titans. Uh, Top Titan, top dog for the Titans is Mike Van Bibber at plus 167. And that's with bonus points, of course, but it still would have been ahead without the bonus points.
Yep.
You are second. You are second at plus 118. And
Yep.
then Monte Lundy is third with plus 20 for our Titans All Stars. Honorable
Yep.
mentions is Benji Garrison at plus 9 and Kobe Franklin at -8.
Yep.
He was down eight
I
pins
would
on average. He had a really big week.
yeah.
He had a really
I would
big
like to
week.
say some of the blinds we used too, obviously, the way we were doing our blinds played into that. And Dante being third, and he took a blind, which means, we were taking 10 pins per game off. For him to still be up in there with one blind week at minus 30 pins is pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that's truly impressive. Which I was like saying, you guys, hats off to the Titans. No, you guys did bowl. You bowled your butt off. If you look at these scores, these are tournament winning scores. Like just to name some of them off without bonus points. Mike Van Bibber went 2140 for 3 weeks. You actually beat him total wise at 2237. You actually have the highest scratch total of all the Titans, but your average is higher, so therefore
Yeah.
you didn't have as much over. So that's kind of the things we're talking about with how this worked. And the next year we're going to kind of change it up to make it a little fairer for the Titans because with these scores you can't you can't knock them. I mean Dante Lunde shot with a blind 2108, and then Benji shot 2074. Kobe came in with a 2152. So because I think he had a 1 week that was kind of low, threw him down further, but still 2152, and that's just your top six. The lowest is
Yep.
1871, which is still what for 9 games plus 71.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
And,
Um,
and we didn't even get out of the basement at plus 71 being our bottom guy.
yeah, that's crazy. Moving on to the enforcers, we have Tim Rendon at plus 291, and that's with 25 bonus points. Connor Shirai, I mean Shiva. I'm sorry, Connor, if you're in. I really don't like butchering your name, but we call him CJ. Down from my area, he was plus 220, and I think he had a blind week. I think he did have a blind week.
No,
He didn't.
no, I don't think CJ did. I know the next person on the list had a blind.
Yeah,
Ron Bailey had a blind.
yeah, he had a blind. Okay, I'm confusing the two, but just those are our enforcers house all stars. Uh, and then their actual totals 2093, 2153 for Connor, 2050 for Ron. But if you go down to just honorable mentions, I mean, fourth place is plus 196 and fifth place is plus 191. I mean, it doesn't go below 100 till you have to get to like 23rd place. And
Yeah.
that's crazy. So, enforcers, I mean, I'm with y'all. We did it. We did it. But we put in some work, and I know numbers had a lot to play in with 60 something people bowling in the enforcers division. Had it been a little bit even, I think the numbers would tell a different story. But I am still proud of my enforcers to take the W and show out the way that they did. So, as I said, Tim Rendon, Connor I'm sorry, Connor Shearer, and Ron Bailey. Those are your enforcers house all stars with honorable mentions of Paul Marshall and Matthew Lake, who bowls on my team on Tuesdays. So I'm gotta say a shout out to him as well. He did really well. For the Hustlers, number one, like you said, plus 394 for Demetrius Gonzalez, plus 394, and only 30 of that. If you're thinking is bonus points, only 30 points were bonus points.
Yeah.
Only 30.
Again, he's another one of those bowlers like David and Demetrius both that I believe are really taking this mentality that they're gonna move up a house by next season. In my opinion, they've really put in some work. Or, I mean, you can't put that many points up just on luck. You've got to be doing something right.
No, he was killing it. He was killing it. I mean, week one, he shot 678, and then comes back the week two, and he's at 1243. I think he had a little lower week, but then he finished at 1939. He had another high week, so he's definitely on it. He was definitely on. Randy Cleghorn was second in the Hustlers group at plus 292, and he had more bonus points than Demetrius did. That's the crazy part. Then Brian Carroll is third for the roundup, the House All Stars for with a plus 229, and then we have Michael Jackson, not Michael Jackson King of Pop, Michael Jackson, at plus 206, and then after that is Lessa Moots. Is it Moots? I mean, she's from your area, isn't she? Lisa? Is it Lisa or
No,
Lisa?
no, I think it's less of, she's not from here, but I have talked with her. I'm not sure how her last name is pronounced, but
She was at plus 159 to round up to honorable mention for total House All Stars. Uh, Again, they've bowled. Everybody's bowled amazing, and I can't doubt anybody in this group of bowlers. Any of the groups, they're all good. We're going to the Renegades, who are in second place. Hustlers were third, Titans were last, Enforcers we won. For second place, David Petula, 332 positive. Positive 332 for top dog for the Renegades. And then we have Elise Mendez.
yep,
Elise was second at plus 245. And folks, this is her second. Her average is 102.
yep,
Her average is 102, and it was plus 245 with only 25 bonus points. So she
yep.
she came and she put in work. And I think she recently won a tournament, didn't she? A 9-pin no tap tournament or something
She
like that.
she's won a couple of things. Go ahead and finish up with the All Stars, and then I have a little bit to say about all of these Renegades because they're, if I'm not mistaken, all of the top five, the top three plus your honorable mentions are all from right here in Colorado.
So we have third to round up the Renegades All Star House All Stars, Miss Violet Bernal, who is plus 201. Then we have two honorable mentions, Miss April Ragland at plus 149, and Miss Erica Sanchez at plus 136.
Yep.
And that rounds up the House All Stars for the Renegades.
Yeah. These renegades, all five of them are from here in the Denver area. Well, I'm in Reno at the moment, but David is the one I've talked a lot about. I know he went from thumb in to two-handed and put in a ton of work over the summer. The growth that he's put in is absolutely amazing. Elise Mendez got the pleasure to bowl, well, watch her bowl. We put her in our women's city tournaments on one of the teams. She took first place in singles. She took first place in all events. She absolutely blew the field out of the water in her division. Same with Violet. I get to see Violet bowl every single Monday. I got to watch her put her scores up. Um, Putting in a lot of work. Erica Sanchez, April Ragland is one of my students. I coach her every Monday or as many as I can get in, and her average is climbing rapidly as well. So to get to see all five of these bowlers, the top three plus a couple of honorable mentions right here in the local Denver area is pretty impressive. I get to see them grow.
Hey, and I know you're proud coach. I mean, that is really impressive for what they have done. And then they didn't really go negative until almost the last two bowlers,
Yep.
and that's still
Um,
impressive for the majority of the group to actually be above and just trying to keep pace. And that's the only thing
mhm,
we ask, and everybody tries. You try your hardest to do your best, and everybody has done that throughout all the houses, from Renegades all the way up to Titans. But no, when it came down to it, the enforcers took it. I don't think it's going to happen like that next year. We're going to come up with a new system as far as how we're going to calculate the plus and minus overage. I think, like I said earlier, it's going to be more of a percentage. How much are you over versus just total pins? Because I don't think it should have ended out this way. But I'm glad that we did it this way to learn something from it. No, and what
yep.
we've learned is it makes this format makes it unfair for the top tier bowlers. So
Yeah.
this was going to be also a in-person event in the future. So we really need to make some adjustments to it to make it work online and in person. But no,
Mhm.
first and foremost, thank you all the participants, thank you all the challengers, all the houses for participating and making it a successful challenge. And thank you just for Geek for help putting this together, putting together the spreadsheet and keeping it to where it's neat and organized and not just all over the place. No, this came together real nicely. So, and
Yep.
excuse my, I have really bad allergies, but altogether, I want to say is it was a different challenge and a different take on what we've done before. Uh,
Yeah.
but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it greatly. I wish I would have bowled
Oh
better,
yeah.
but no,
Yeah.
I think
I
this is
uh
the future.
I enjoyed it a lot. Like I said, remember, I try and tell people sometimes that our challenges aren't just about competing, just about, you know, free fun, etc. These are learning experiences too. Like we pointed out a lot on this. It's this particular challenge as it started kind of fun, it kind of, Harry Potter style. A lot of people likened it to Game of Thrones with the houses, etc. But then now we're sitting here talking and just really getting concrete information that we can pass on to the bowling community. It showed how difficult it is for the upper average bowlers to maintain that average. Week in, week out, they just don't get a break. We never get to take a week off. We never get to slip. When we slip, it hurts. The meat and potatoes of the leagues with the hustlers and the enforcers, you know, they're dominating with those things. And you, like you brought up, you look at handicap leagues and the way tournaments are set up with handicap, these are the bowlers that can really do damage. Like you want them on your team, you want them bowling in these tournaments. And the Renegades too, like they're just up and coming. If they're serious about this, they're showing improvement constantly. And I just wanted to point out that these challenges are fun, they're competition, they're this, that, But it's not just about that. Look at all of this concrete evidence and concrete information that we're getting out of this challenge.
It's loads. It's loads. These spreadsheets, like I said, they don't lie. If y'all could look at, if we could show y'all the numbers and just looking at it week to week and spotting the trends is like, hey, this is like something's off, something's going on. Like it's interesting to look at the
Mhm.
numbers and it's interesting to put it all together and really analyze it. Like this is what's really going on. And if, like I said, if Stream was to ever have a league, it's like, okay, well, we're going to base our league stuff on something different because this is what we've seen. This is what we've noticed when we're putting these type of bowlers together. So no, it's always a learning experience, not just for no the challengers, but for us as well. And I'm glad that the direction that we're going with Stream and how it's going with the challenges, everybody's going to grow. One of our things is we don't want anybody being stagnant. We want you to grow. We want your mindset to be competition focused, but also community focused, being able to have fun with your other fellow bowlers in order to grow and communicate with your local titan or your local hustler or local enforcer and be able to connect not just bowling wise, but in a community that pushes you to be better than what you are every single time you step on the lanes and lace up. No, every time you go out and throw a ball, your mindset is set on being the best that you can be. Not what anybody else says you are, what you can be. And I'm loving the result that we're getting. But
Yeah.
we definitely have that winner, and I'm going to be posting that surprise now for the enforcers. We're going to move on to your experience at the 2026 Reno USBC Championships. How
Yeah.
did you fare? If you want to tell us, how is it set up for those who have probably not been? What was your take on this year's experience in Reno?
Um, I will openly say I struggled this year. There are probably a lot of factors that played into it with even getting here. I know some of the admins and mods heard a couple of the stories that happened before we even left Denver to get here. There was more to it even the week leading up to that. But bottom line is it's a tough condition out here, and if you're not mentally prepared, you're going to come out here and struggle. Even people who are, we met Victor Cortez out here this weekend. He struggled just as well as the rest of us did. We saw some big numbers. We saw some not so big numbers from names we know from TikTok and Facebook, and um, I I would just like for people to know, like, I mean, I shot 580 for team. I shot 490 for doubles. Yes, that is a correct number. 490 for doubles. I bounced back a little bit, but not well enough. Singles, I shot 550 something. Averaged about 174, 173 for the weekend. It's not easy conditions. Anybody thinks they're just going to come out here and dominate the lanes, you should probably come out once first before you figure that out. But that said, again, mental toughness is a huge thing when you come out here. And I was not mentally tough this weekend because of so many things that happened, from getting here to showing up to having to make phone calls to find substitutes last minute. My grandson was out here. There was some things that happened with that during team. It got worse for doubles and singles. Yeah, just a lot of things. One thing I definitely learned this year, and I was talking to a couple of the guys here. Patrick Roper was out here with us. He bowled phenomenal. He really actually came out and showed up. I know he had a couple of struggles in doubles and singles as well. I think the pattern was a little tougher, but he came out here and really laced him up and put his best foot forward. And the difference between me and him this particular year is he had a little bit less mental fatigue going into it. He was out here to bowl. He was out here prepared to bowl. He wanted to bowl the 40 frame. He wanted to bowl bowler's journals. He was focused on his game, and he came out and showed up. I know one of the questions you had on the Facebook post was the difference between coming out here and competing and just coming out here and showing up. Patrick came out and competed, and I showed up, and that's the bottom line. However, I had a great time. I got to spend the entire weekend with my grandson. I don't get to see him as often as I'd like. We don't live real close, so I wouldn't trade that for anything that happened out here as far as scores go. Um, one of these days, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to have the bowling mindset instead of the everything else mindset, and we'll see what happens at that point. But this year was not my better year.
And as you said, the USBC Nationals is not to scare anybody. Uh, I've done it twice. I was supposed to be there with you this year, but I had changes in my schedule. Uh, it's not it's not a tournament for the weak. It's not a tournament for those who, and it's not weak at bowler. It's for the weak mindset. When I say for the weak,
Mhm.
if your mindset is not there to grind it out because it is a grind, and to come in and say I'm going to figure this out, then you're gonna struggle. I'm not saying that's why you struggle. Like, I know about the other things going on with you. Know that you posted, and it was like, yeah, that's a lot. No, because it's
Yeah.
taken away from you being in the right mindset to actually perform because there's other things
Mhm.
weighing. But if, like you said, if you need inclination thinking you're just gonna come out and smoke it, unless you're a professional bowler who bowls on these type of pads, and even they struggle. Let's just be
Mhm.
honest there. Some of the professional bowlers come out to the national tournament and they struggle on this pattern, their patterns they put out.
Mhm.
They don't always all bowl good because if that was the case, you would see a lot of their teams winning Eagles most of the time. They'll probably most of just be their names. You see always winning Eagles. It's not that easy of a tournament for even them to come out.
Yeah.
So if you think you're gonna come out and just smoke it because you average 220 or 205, oh, it'll be easy. Oh no, it's not. It is not a tournament of that. It is one of the sole purposes for stream bowling to exist is to
Mhm.
one get multiple teams out there to compete, but have the mindset of competing already built into you to where when you get to a stage like that, there's no quits. There's no, oh, I just give up. No, it's going to
Yeah.
stick to me with me to this day. My first time showing up to this tournament in Vegas and seeing somebody lace up and then take their laces off, put the shoes up, and walk out. And it's like,
Mhm.
is it really that bad? No, but again, some people don't have the right mindset. Some people don't like to be humbled that much. This tournament is definitely fun. It is a fun tournament
Oh yeah.
if you challenge yourself.
Mhm.
If you don't like challenges and you don't want to challenge yourself, this ain't the tournament for you. And I'm saying this
No.
into saying that we are looking for more people to join us in the future to go to this tournament who have the mindset of I want to compete, not just compete, but to be better and to see how good I can do on a national stage versus thousands of bowlers. And those who want to do that, hey, hit us up. We'll build teams for 2028, 2027. I think we're locked in already.
Yeah.
Unless we get lucky and
Yep.
get a few
We have two
extra
teams for 27. Yeah. We'll find out. I'll find out from the team captain if anything happens. I may grab another spot if it comes up. But we are locked in with two teams for Vegas next year. And once we get an idea as to how many people are truly committed, um, again, I dealt with a lot of things leading up to and during this tournament. As Dwight said, you've got to be committed. Again, I bowled not very well. Again, I had a sub 500 set, but what I didn't do was I didn't take my shoes off, I didn't quit. Some of the bowlers that were here with me, this was their first nationals experience ever. They didn't even come out here to bowl. One of the ladies that I bowled with on my team and as my doubles partner, she had to buy a ball out here and buy shoes because she didn't come out here to bowl. She was out here to hang out with her significant other and you know, it just she got thrown into a situation, and hats off to her and the other lady that got thrown in, and my wife bowled her first one this year, and hats off to all of the people who come out here and give it a go and don't quit. You may not be the most competitive, you may not be at the level of some other bowlers, but you can still show that you are showing up, that you're giving it your best, and that you're going to compete, even if it isn't maybe ideal circumstances for the lower average bowlers. It's how you get better, it's how you learn, and it also shows a lot of perseverance and dedication to the sport when you get thrown into a situation like she did and still come out. okay with how she did, understanding she was in a tough spot. I took her as my doubles partner in an instant. It didn't even phase me. To be able to bowl with somebody on their first time ever coming out here. This is the second year I've done that. In fact, last year was a different circumstance, but I bowled with who I bowled with, Michaela, first nationals, lower average bowler, thrown into a tough situation, had to buy a ball. I wouldn't trade it. Like I'll sacrifice a little bit of my game to bowl with bowlers like that and to try to help them understand what it takes to be out here. Because this is a special tournament. It's a unique tournament. Dwight, you've gotten to do the march. They get people clapping and they get the music going and you feel like a celebrity for a few minutes and you're out there on the big stage and your scores are up on the screen in front of you and don't shy away from it. Come out here and give it a go and don't quit and understand it's a tough circumstance and give it everything you got and walk away proud.
Yeah, yeah, it is definitely an interesting experience, and one day in the future, Stream is going to host a tournament, something like that, where you got the lights and glamour and everybody's cheering and music blasting. But the Nationals is definitely an experience that I think every bowler should try to embark on to see if this is
Mhm.
something they want to do year to year, and how much do you really like bowling? No, not even like how much do you love bowling? To dedicate yourself to
Yep.
going to a tournament in different cities. Most of the time, it's in the same one, Reno or Vegas, because those are the main places that hold it. We don't get too many different places to go to, but to go and compete on a national level and to do well or to learn and come back and say, okay, take notes. This is what happened here. This is what I need to work on, blah, blah, blah. And then take that next year, once the summer and then the next season, work on those things so that when you go back, you do better. I know I really
Mhm.
wanted to go this year. I've never been to Reno, but I'm gonna get a chance. It's gonna go back again. But I wanted to do more sports shots. No, this year, and I probably will do a sports shot league this summer, and probably try to make myself go practice more at my alley where I could ask them to put a shot out and just practice on it to get myself
Mhm.
acclimated to being more accurate, more on point, making my transitions when they're supposed to be made and stuff like that. Like it takes dedication to want to be better, but I don't think anybody on the stream page would shy away from a challenge like that. I think in our
No.
community, the mindset and the community that we've built, I think from Renegade to Titan would take that on heads on and
Mhm.
go and try to tackle it by the horns and learn from it. That's I think that's the biggest thing is our difference in our community. A lot of our people in our community learn from what they did the previous challenge, and I've seen even challenge to challenge certain names that pop up, and it's like they didn't do great this challenge, but the next challenge they're better, and then the challenge after that
Yeah.
they're better and consistently getting better. And that's like I said, that's the purpose of it. Is to prepare that competition mindset. So when you go to nationals, if you do, you're not going to be shied away from the whole challenge of it and everything. You're going to be zoomed in and locked in and say, okay, this is what I got to do. And hopefully one year we'll have a person in stream bowling named Win the Eagle. That'll be great. I think that would be awesome. No, but it would take
Be
us
something.
teams there, and that's coming. And I definitely think that it's going to be a sight to see. But we're going to build towards it.
Yep.
We're going to build towards it.
100%. And, for anybody out there, I have 23 years. I got my 23-year patch this year and we all struggle. Don't think it's the end of the world if you struggle out here. Every single one of us, like I said, Victor Cortez had his struggles this weekend. We watched it and, he's a big name on YouTube,
On top.
and he can struggle just like the rest of us.
Oh yeah, it's for everyone to try and do, and I'm just happy. Like I said, we do have those who want to try. So for those of y'all that do
Yep.
want to go to this tournament, let us know. We'll get you signed up for 2028, and then we'll go from there and just try to build it up as we go. Hopefully by 2030 we may have 5 teams. Who knows? But that'd be 5 stream teams from a community that builds and focuses on that. To shift
Yep.
gears, though, we're talking about the national tournament. No, now if you look behind us, we're going to talk about our tournaments that we have coming up. And yes, you heard it, our tournaments, meaning stream official stream bowling tournaments. I've dubbed it the Stream Bowling Weekend. Will be taking place in Denver at Arapahoe Bowling Center, which is in Greenwood, Colorado, or Green Village.
Greenwood Village. Yeah.
Yeah, Green. Okay, a combination. Uh, that is
Yeah.
going to be going out soon. That we've already launched it. The registration form is ready to go, and you guys go to this place called Stream Bowling Nation. It is right there. StreamBowlingNation.com. You probably can't see because my shoulders in the way as I'm big. Please forgive. I'm gonna try to see if I can slide out the way. Oh, the stomach. It's right there. It's on this form. But it's StreamBowlingNation.com where you can go and sign up for this tournament. We have pre-order for shirts available. We have the entry fees for not just it's a weekend of tournaments. It's a doubles tournament on Saturday and a singles tournament on Sunday. Uh, Saturday is going to
Mhm.
be fun. It's going to be very fun. I like the formats. I like the different combinations of all the doubles things that we're doing. So it's definitely. I think Saturday is going to be the more fun of the two because it's fun related. It's
Mhm.
fun focused. And then we have this summer eliminator, which has got its own stream twist to it, and I think that was going to be phenomenal too. But I think we're going to get some real. I think we're going to get real competitive bowlers in the eliminator. I think we're going to get some
Mhm.
names that are going to come out there and try to show out and do their best to win our first challenge. But what do you think? Which one are you most looking forward to? And it sucks is we can't
Um,
bowl.
I mean, yeah, and I'm looking forward to both, obviously, for different reasons. Like you touched on the twisted doubles. It's something that we've done a couple of times technically with the trees and doubles, now the twisted doubles, things we had been building that are stream branded, stream uh developed challenges, something that's different than anybody else has done. And it really exemplifies the community part of our statement. Bringing people together to have a good time, and not just together to have a good time, but also to make new friends, meet new people, bowl with new people. The way that the twisted doubles works, you know, a good portion of the field may come in with one person, and then you may be bowling with somebody else that you've never met before, and it gives you an opportunity to make those connections with other bowlers in other communities, maybe in other states. I think Saturday is really going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to Saturday quite a bit just because I really do enjoy those fun aspects from bowling. And then, like you said, the eliminator, just in Denver alone, I know we have some PBA champions, not just regional, but national champions. They've been on TV. We have a couple of really good local tours, the senior tour, the Colorado Scratch Bowling Tour, Rocky Mountain Seniors. There are some really, really high level bowlers in the Denver area. And I would really like to see some of the out of state bowlers who I know can compete come in here, and let's see what everybody can do coming together as the competition part of what Stream stands for. Competition meets community. This is a weekend that is going to exemplify both aspects of that. And I don't think people realize how much fun this could really be to do both in the same weekend as a combined, event, so to speak.
It is definitely is. It's going to be a wonderful thing to see. But also, if y'all are paying attention closely, yeah, if you see that right there, and you see that over here by Geek's Head, youth are invited as well.
Mhm.
We're not just focused on the adults. We want youth bowlers to come out and experience the stream experience as well.
Yeah.
Because and I've said this to Geek the other day. I don't know if I went over my epiphany with you, but I had an epiphany that when it comes to the bowling community, we push the youth a lot harder than we push ourselves. And
Mhm.
it's crazy. Like I've really sat down and thought, like I've been watching the PBA on CW and watching these kids. These are kids, young kids coming
Mhm.
up and winning, graduating from Wichita State, and out here competing with the top dogs. Like first a few years out here, and it's like, wait a second, um, there's a shift happening in the sport, And I'm not even sure if everybody's taking notice of it. Like, no, everybody this year has been screaming EJ Tackett, EJ Tackett, EJ Tackett. He's been doing well, but he hasn't won. And he hasn't won because his competition has really
Yeah.
stepped. Like, and I've noticed that in just watching the CW, the PBA events, and looking at how the youth programs are. And Saturday's event, the Twisted Doubles, is going to be donating towards a youth cause. And Sunday has a
Yep.
youth division in it, but these kids are being put to the test at an early age. And it's
Mhm.
like, why aren't we testing ourselves in that same manner? That's what got
Yeah.
me is like, why are we putting the kids through the harder patterns, the tougher tournaments, tougher formats, tougher colleges? Everything's tougher for them as they're moving up. And then when they get to the pro
Mhm.
level, it's like, this is easy. It's easy to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, why aren't we
Yep.
doing the same thing for ourselves? So
Yeah.
I thought that was quite funny to pick up on that. And I really do wish that the community as a whole, which our community will inspire everybody to improve and not stay in the same place. But these
Yep.
tournaments are definitely of the first of many to come. That we're gonna push that envelope. We're gonna push that message of be better.
Mhm.
Try to be better and community. Have fun while you're doing it.
Yep.
What you want to add, Geek?
I just touching on the youth deal. You brought up we are donating to the Mile High Junior Tour. It goes into scholarship funds, and like you said, we really do push the juniors. I'm a junior coach. I coach a junior club. I coach the high schools in one of the conferences in our area, and I watch them week in and week out in way tougher conditions than we are in as adults. And I really believe, as this challenge pointed out too, we lean on handicap, we lean on a lot of things, we lean on easy house patterns, and then these kids come in. Our youth club, the Bowler Depot Juniors, we have a summer program too, and they have an entire adult youth league that we run, and we put out sport patterns for them, like the big guys would do. And it's interesting to see the kids school the adults over and over and over again, even though the adults have a higher average on their league, but they're just on house patterns, and they don't understand what these kids are going through. And then they come out and struggle on these sport patterns over the summer. And all of a sudden you can see the shift. They're looking at their kid, asking them for advice instead of the other way around. You know, I bowl on not enough sport, but enough to know that it's humbling. These kids are excelling on them, even to the point where there's a handful of them that make me look like a novice. And I'm looking to some of the older juniors and asking them what their advice is as a seasoned bowler. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. These events that we're going to put on are going to exemplify and really focus in on both aspects, the juniors, the more difficult patterns, and and just hopefully grow what our future is with these younger adults. We'll call them younger adults instead of just youths coming up into this sport.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the goal. So what does that mean? We'll be a custom shot. Nothing is going to be super difficult, but you can't expect it to be, if you decide to come, a shot that is not going to be something that's easy. Walk down and just throw the ball and
Mhm.
think it's going to move and just make your adjustment. No, it's going to make you think some. But that's for this tournament. This tournament over
Mhm.
here, the twisted doubles, like we said, it's fun focused. We're doing both. Like I said, we
Yeah,
got the
yeah,
competition and we got the fun. So fun,
yeah.
competition. If you like competition, here. If you like fun, there. But if you like both, hey, no, that's why we're putting on these events. It's two events, Saturday and Sunday, July 18th, July 19th of this year, Denver, Colorado. You guys do not want to miss out on this. And as I said, it's the first of many. I've already been
Yeah.
talking with other cities and where I would want to go next. So look out for these tournaments. And just to further amplify that, Stream is about to go through a rebrand. We are going to be officially changing from Stream Bowling to Stream Bowling Nation. And a few changes will be coming. The website is almost done. On the website, there will be merch. Your house shirts are going to be on there. This shirt. There's going to be a lot of different things, but also the hat. I have the hat, but just to also let you know that this is going to change too. I've been working on a new logo, a new look. The colors are going to be kind of the same, but a lot of things are going to change and move stream forward into more of a platform for these type of tournaments and these type of challenges and type of events to where people can come if they want to be part of a community that is not going to ridicule them for asking a question, not going to put them down and say, hey, you don't belong here, or talk down as if, oh, the reason why you're struggling is because you're a 150 bowler. We don't do that. We want our 150 bowlers to move up. No, in my mind, and the design of the houses, the Renegades is going to be the smallest house by
Yeah.
design. No, because these challenges are made to make you improve. So by the time you come around next year, you're not going to be a renegade anymore. You're going to be a hustler. And then from there, if you keep that same mindset, you're going to be an enforcer. You keep going,
Mhm.
you get into being a big dog, being a titan. No, but I honestly see renegades being is the starting house. We don't want everybody to stay there. We want people to move up. And what I'm seeing is the hunger. They do. They want to move up. I have with the questions even on the page. These challenges are making people ask questions more often on the page. They're asking questions about every week, and the coaches corner post that we have. Hey, what do I do
Mhm.
with this? Or is this wrong for this? My most recent question was, is it a bad idea to have uh, two opens as a goal? Like, is that overcompensating or whatever Chuggy said? And it's like,
Mhm.
where would you get that from? Why would you think that
Yeah.
that's overcompensating? That's a goal. Go for it. No, if that's your
Yeah.
goal, hell, you could set it to one frame that you're open. That sets your standards
Mhm.
high, but you're going to try harder to meet that standard, and then your score is going to show. You're going to pick up more spares. You're going to get more strikes. You're going to make better shots. So why not set that type of tone for yourself? So
Sure.
I'm loving where Stream is going. This is the beginning of our growth with these two tournaments. And as I said, the shirts, everything's going to be on the website. This is going away. Um, I love this. This symbol is great. It's been great for us for the last three years, right? I want to say, has it been
We
3 years?
are running on three. So we two full seasons and a pretty good chunk of the third season prior to that. So pretty close to full 3 seasons.
Yeah, full 3 seasons, and yeah, there's going to be some changes. Look out for StreamBowlingNation.com if you guys want to register for these two tournaments. Go to StreamBowlingNation.com. As soon as you log into that actual website, it's going to bring you directly to the register page for these tournaments. And you can pick
Yeah.
both, one or the other. Um, or, you could just do that and order a shirt, order two shirts. No,
Mhm.
we have shirts that are actually going to the donation for these youth clubs as well. And just
Yeah.
help us make this a great event for our first time having an in-person event. I'm looking to come to Denver and show out. That's the goal. I want Stream Bowling to show out.
Yeah.
So
And
let's
we may not be able to bowl in the events. We may not be able to bowl in the events, but I promise Dwight and I will get on the lanes with you and bowl a little bit, whether it's just open bowling or something else. To touch base on what you were talking about before, I'd like to see the Renegades be new people all the time. You current Renegades, don't be shy. Bring in the newer bowlers because you were just that newer bowler. You're working on becoming a hustler. Same with the hustlers becoming enforcers. The Renegades are for new people, new faces, new hunger. The enforcers, they're the meat and the potatoes. The goal is to continue to move up those houses. But hey, let's talk about this. Let's be social. This is a social sport along with competitive. Don't be afraid to talk to your fellow bowlers and bring them in, especially the lower average bowlers. We are here for them as much as we are here for the Titans. Let's get those new faces in and not be shy about it.
This is my online coach right there. if there's something I can't figure out, I text him in a minute. Like, hey, look, I got a question. No, and that's how this community is built. No, reach out to any one of us. It don't even have to be us. It could be somebody that you know in the page. Anybody that you feel like can help you. Reach out. Say, hey, I'm struggling with this. What do you do? The page is the community is set up for anybody to answer, not just a certified coach. Anybody that
Yeah.
has a good idea of how something works in this sport is able to answer. So if that's the reason why you ain't been answering, now you know. Go ahead. Put your input out there. There's no such thing as a stupid question. There's no such thing as a stupid answer. No.
No.
If, put your information out there and let people pick and choose from the plethora of things coming their way. They're going to resonate with one of those answers. So definitely don't be
Mhm.
afraid to talk more on the page and let's network. Like Geek said, I got to double down on that. Bring in
Yeah.
the new people. The page is now private, so yes, they're going to have to answer questions to get in. The reason why we did that for two reasons is to weed out the people who aren't participating as much and to weed out the bots because we do get a lot of bots that come in and don't answer questions. So if you're bringing people in, bring them in. Tell them that you got to answer 3 questions and you have to read the rules and you have to
Yeah.
be cordial in the community, meaning you can't be no butt. You can't come in there starting mess or start talking bad about people or putting people down because that will get you out of the group very just as fast as you got it. So it's
Yeah.
a community that we build each other up and push each other to be better. So if you got those people that you know need this type of community, bring them in, have them answer the questions. And as Geek said, I mean, based on their average, they'll fall in one of the houses. No, but we want more lower average bowlers. So if you know some lower
Yeah.
average bowlers that need this type of community and they want to get better, point them here. Point them here.
Yeah.
The rest is going to take care of itself. So,
Yeah.
with that being said,
Yeah.
I think that's all our topics for today. Again, this is our first YouTube stream. So, stream channel is at Stream Bowling on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe. Look up for more content coming through the YouTube. Because apparently, like we said, Facebook ain't what it is.
No, this worked good.
Yeah, Facebook is not what it is, so we will be streaming from here more often. TikTok, there's also a Stream Bowling TikTok page. Give us a follow there. Come join the page. Uh, register for these tournaments. We need y'all to register for these tournaments. We're trying to have a huge show out. And that's all I got. What you got, Geek?
I I got nothing. I mean, we've touched base on everything. The page is for discussion. Like Dwight said, if you have ideas, if you have information to give to people, put it out there. We're not going to ridicule anybody. We're not going to ever put anybody down. If there's information that may not be 100% accurate, we're not going to ridicule anybody. We're going to have a discussion about it and make sure that everybody's on the same page. Like Dwight said, if you're gonna come in and have an attitude, you'll find the door pretty quick. So we'll have discussions, not pointed fingers.
Yes, 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 yes. Well, if that's all you got, I've just checked their topic list. That's all we got there. Uh,
Yeah.
That's it. No, we'll have more of these going forward. And also, just to touch on top of what you're saying, ideas. That's not just ideas on giving advice. If you have ideas on challenges, we're open. Shoot us a message on
No.
Facebook. No, explain it out. What is it? What is your vision for it? We can make it happen. If you have a good idea, and if
Oh
it's
yeah.
something that will work, we'll use it. This recent challenge was Marvin's. It was Marvin Walton from St. Louis. I think he's from St. Louis.
Yeah.
Um,
It's definitely Missouri
yeah,
area.
from Missouri. This was a bowler from Missouri's challenge that we took and is elevated it into the from what was it high low? I can't remember what it was called, but it turned it into the Stream
Yeah.
House Cup. A lot of these challenges are people's ideas. So if you ever thought of a bowling idea for a tournament or a challenge, let us know. Hit us up, whether it's on the Facebook page or whether it's on YouTube or on TikTok. We have platforms you can reach us on and let us know. Hey, look, I had this idea, and we'll talk it out and we'll try to make it happen. But on that
Let's have
note,
a discussion.
yep, definitely have a discussion. It's always open for discussion. We're gonna go ahead and close. We're gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday, as it is a beautiful Sunday where I'm at. It's nice and sunny and hot. I know it's hot and dry where you're at. I see the sun.
It's actually snowing. It's snowing.
It's snowing. Oh shoot! I'll trade you right
It
now.
yeah. It is actively snowing right now here in Reno.
Wow. See, I need to move to the mountains. Anyways, with that being said, this is Go Time signing off. We got Coach Geek over there,
Coach
and
Geek.
catch y'all on the flip side. And I promise we're gonna be back more often. It's just scheduling with everything we've been doing. It's been hectic. It's been a lot.
We
So
will make time.
these have taken a lot of time and discussions. So I believe we got it, and once we execute it, it's gonna be easy from there. But I'm gonna go
Yep.
ahead and sign off, and we'll catch y'all on another day. Deuces.
See ya.